Angie.
All right, we got it up and going. So a little delayed. We're going to call the meeting order at 12 after 10. And first item on the agenda is minutes from last meeting. So those were sent out earlier. I get a chance to review those. Any changes or motions?
I had one correction. I was left off. I wasn't here.
Oh, I want to make sure
My
that.
name wasn't on the attendees.
Okay. Make sure. Add it on there.
Sorry.
And get that added in. Any motions with that change?
I'll make a motion.
To approve with that addition?
Yes, sir.
Second, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 3-0 on the minutes. Next item on the agenda is just certification of the election results. We had several absentee mailed ballots mailed in without signatures. So pursuant to the statute, letters were sent out to them, and we received 2 affidavits back. So that is all we have to review. We'll double check the provisional ballot holders, just make sure nothing's in there, but we weren't informed anything was in there. But we'll double check those too. But we should just have these 2 to run through, assuming that the signatures are approved. So first one here. Hey, Mr. Doan. Just compare application signature and affidavit signature.
That's good.
Any thoughts on this guy?
I move that we accept that.
Okay.
Need the signatures.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that one's accepted. Next one is also a donor.
I said,
You good with it? So, motion by Patty, second by Tanya, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So we'll open these up and run them back there on the card reader. Do you guys want to go through these orange bags, make sure there's nothing in them? A couple of them were signed, but I think they probably just did it. Because I thought they were supposed to.
I already cooked them. Yes, that's just paperwork.
And do you want us to name off the names of each bag? That nothing is in it?
No, that's all right.
Thank you.
Review for this.
Thank you. Nada. Just papers. No. Want your chair back, sir?
Check this already.
No.
I ain't seen.
No provision.
Angie?
Yep.
You have that fun drive?
I do. And then you'll.
Interesting.
What's, I don't don't know, I wasn't here.
Yeah, you weren't here. That was funny.
Did you catch that before? Did you catch that before?
No, and I read through it, so
I gave it to you.
I'm sorry.
It was not intentional.
Yeah, okay.
We'd never miss you, Tanya. Leave you out of our meetings. Actually, I read it twice.
You didn't start the word.
She's
Ready.
Yes.
She is.
You can stay here.
No, thank you, I'm good.
Need anything else printed up here, Angie?
Hmm?
Do you need anything else printed, precinct summaries or anything?
Oh, yeah. I got the election summary. I do have a
too.
precinct, but that's what I started, with, really good. I think it's just election summary more.
I'm sorry.
17%.
17, almost 18.
And then
17.7.
Is this is the original one, right?
yes, that's the original.
What was the last one we did? How many votes? Anyone on the paper has to do? Opportunity. Yes.
Did you get a copy of this yet?
No, I didn't. I get the original one.
So just for final numbers, just put in the minutes, and Kim, you got a copy there, but we're at election day vote, 6,349. Paper absentee, 293. Walk-in absentee, which is early voting, 1,826, for a total of 8,468 votes, 17.79% voter turnout for the party. And I believe we have some forms that have to be completed. Angie will take care of filling those out, getting them into the state. If we need to sign anything, let us know.
Are you talking, I think the CEB 9, right, Angie?
Yes.
So so you guys don't have to come back.
Okay. Do you have, is that, Angie, something you've started already, or will you?
I've been starting on it, yes,
Okay.
but I had to wait for this, and then I have to run a ballot batch processing, which will take overnight, so.
So we won't be able to sign that today?
No.
Okay. All right, then. Any questions or comments on the election final certification?
No questions, no.
Motion.
Yep.
Second.
Motion to the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Patty? Are you an aye?
Oh, yes, sir. Right.
So election certified 3-0.
This is the first one we signed. I think Angie
Did
too.
Angie take it? Yeah. Angie's got the signed one.
I do.
Okay. Any other business?
We need to discuss
Email.
this
Yep.
email from Stephanie Gerhardt, the Warrick County Democrat Chair.
Thank you.
Someone read your email out loud for those of us who didn't receive it.
Do what? Say it again.
Could someone read the email out loud so that people online and those of us who didn't get it know what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah, we will. Yeah, we were just looking at something else, sorry. So we have an email request for poll workers who attended training but did not work the election and wanting to know if they could be paid the $25 for attending the training. And, that has been discussed in the past, I know, and there was an instance a few elections ago where we had like a whole bunch of extra people show up and then they all wanted paid and just in case they might work, and was determined to not pay those individuals, but some of these individuals are ones who were assigned to work the election, attended training, but then we reduced the number of workers. So the request was made by the party chairman whether those individuals could be paid. So that's the discussion topic for that. Thoughts, comments?
My thoughts are that they attended the meeting thinking they were going to work. So I think they're entitled to the $25 for this election. Because they did take their time, they attended the meeting thinking they were going to work. And then we changed the numbers. So it wasn't any fault of their own. And it's only $25 and we're having a hard time with workers anyway, so that's my thoughts.
I don't have a problem with paying them, and I totally agree with you. Can we do that though, even though there was a resolution that we passed?
I don't think it was a resolution. I think we just voted that one time that we weren't, if you just showed up to the training but didn't actually work the election, that we weren't going to pay them. Certainly there's always circumstances where we can make exceptions, and I think this is an appropriate exception to make, but and we can always, of course, revisit, because the concern, there was concern here, well, what do we do about if someone isn't able to work on election day at the last minute, and we haven't had somebody extra people attend the training, how are we gonna get subs? And, so there's, we can discuss that, but I'm okay with the workers who were assigned to work election day, attended training, and then we don't need that many people. I'm fine with paying them as well. I think it's fair.
Do we have a list of those that attended the training?
There
Because,
was only like 2 of them that, because the rest of them ended up working.
Okay.
Because we had several, I think there's like 2 or 3, that's it.
Cindy would have that list, for sure.
okay, she,
Maybe,
all of them?
maybe only 2. They end up working because people left, dropped out for various reasons, illnesses and such, so there's
So it's a good thing they attended the training.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think there was only 1 person that did not work. The rest did, so they were all paid.
I'm fine with paying that person or a couple people who did training because they were scheduled to work the election and then ended up not because we reduced the number of workers. If it was a person who just showed up, wasn't scheduled to work, but just showed up in case they were asked to work, that's a different question. And just what are our thoughts on that? I can understand, I understand Stephanie's point. And we want to have some extra people in line that have gone through training, ready to work the election if somebody cancels,
Which always happens.
which happens, always happens. But at the same time, we had the one year where there were like 10 or 15 extra people.
Yeah.
And it's just not really, that's a lot of extra money for a lot of extra people that didn't actually end up working the election. So
Well, and that
it's
was,
got to be reasonable.
really, that was our first year for the health centers, wasn't it?
I don't remember which one it was.
We're getting better at doing that.
Yeah.
What's it?
And by law, the only people that have to attend training technically is the inspector. So if we end up, the clerk needs replaced and we have to move in another clerk, if they haven't gone to training, we've got 5 or 6 other people there that can help fill them in on their limited role that they have to do. So it's not the end of the world, although we'd like them to go to training. It wouldn't prevent it if, if we had 2 or 3 extra people attend training and it turned out we needed 4, it wouldn't prevent that 4th person just because they hadn't gone to training. But I would think we wouldn't want 10 people going to training just in case. That would be a bit much. If we could even find that many people.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve paying the individuals for their training.
We were scheduled to work, but then we took them off. Is that the ones you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
I second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Let me see.
Yeah, and let's make it clear,
$25.
I know,
let's try and make it clear in advance of the primary, of the general, how many extra people the party chairs, the parties are planning on bringing, communicate that. And maybe we limit it to 5 extra people or something, so that we don't end up with 10 or 15 extra people, and then we have to decide whether or not it's fair to pay them.
for each party, 5 for each party.
Well, whatever number you
Yeah,
want,
whatever.
whatever number you choose.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that it can, because much like you said, they're not required to implement. So if we end up needing more, you could.
But just make sure we communicate that with the party chairs. When we send the request for how many workers we need, we communicate also what, and you're approved to have up to 2 or 3 additional people for backups. We can give them that. Sound fair?
That's a good idea, yes.
Anything else?
Um,
Oh, she asked if it was possible to get a bit more notice for meetings. Received the notice on Tuesday. I don't remember when it was actually posted. But I did Tuesdays, but
May 14th at 12:30.
for Tuesday
That's obviously a typo.
PM.
Yes.
We're required to do 48 hours notice. We, of course, we try and get more notice when we have more notice, but the law requires 48 hours.
And in this case, we had to have it done by the 17th.
And we didn't think to schedule the time on election day, otherwise we could have posted it earlier, but we didn't do that. And I don't know when the next meeting will be, we'll just have to see when we think we need to meet again.
Anybody?
So would you like for me to maybe 5 days in advance, 5 is?
Well, if we know about it ahead of time, we'll
Suggestion.
schedule it, but we'll post it. But sometimes, we're scheduling, we're trying to figure out when is it gonna work for everybody, and we may only be able to give 2 or 3 days notice. But if we can give a week's notice, we'll give a week's notice. No problem with that.
Good suggestions by her. But add,
Yes.
Appreciate Stephanie's email.
yes.
Anything else?
I'd like to bring up that any requests we have for reports or histories to the election office is the same process that we have in the clerk's office. It has to go through the commissioner's office, where a FOIA request needs to be completed. Once it's approved, the information will then be given to the requester, and the cost is $1 per page. Because we've been getting multiple requests for different documents, histories.
I think there was some communication emails about that cost per page part, and depending on what it is, there's different statutes that apply that we'll just have to take that on a case-by-case basis as to what they're requesting, I guess.
We've always done $1.
Yeah.
I guess it looks like the statutes have
That's,
delineated a few things, but we'll just have to address it by what the request is. But if it's an official request under APRA, it should go through the official process for the request, which is a form county administrator completes and has them sign, and and once that's signed, then the request is acknowledged, and then we have a reasonable time for response. It's good to have a uniform policy and procedure across the county for all those requests. Okay, anything else? Motion?
but how are you gonna open it for public?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We
Anybody
have
have anything?
one public.
The whole public. I really don't have anything to communicate other than, I worked at Living Word, and I don't know if that was the busiest vote center we had or not, but it sure felt like it.
Haven't ran those numbers yet to see by vote center.
And we were so overwhelmed with voters, we did not have time to do balancing. So we had no way of knowing that until the end of the day, whether we had tracked check-ins versus votes versus slips. We didn't have time to break for lunch, so we pretty much just let one person at a time go grab something to eat, grab a drink, and breathe for a few seconds and come back.
So workers might need to beef that up to the general, you're saying.
Yeah, I have had at least 3 of the 6 poll workers there say they're not gonna work again. Just because it was so overwhelmed. I talked to them about possibly working at a lower volume location. So they may not actually end up stepping back.
How many that was the total? It's on election day.
The time went by fast, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it kind of did. It was, yeah.
And then,
We did run it. And you did.
look at Ohio Township. That was a great choice.
Close, so Greg, looks like Ohio Township beat Living Word out by about 20 votes.
Okay.
But by far, they were the 2 busiest.
And one worker from Ohio Township has also told me that they will not be working the job.
I know.
On election day,
They do.
they're done.
And
They do.
I mean, it's.
My wife said we
it's
weren't gonna have
really-
it, since she wasn't ever gonna go through
fresh
labor
out-
again, but.
Fresh off the bat.
Right.
They may change their minds.
Yeah.
So it's, please take that with a very large grain of salt, but just, there's, me, I worry about everything, right?
Right.
I worry we're gonna lose some of our best and most experienced workers because we're trying to staff a little lighter than would be best.
It's just the end one.
That's just
It's hard to know, yeah.
something to know for the fall.
Yeah, we can look at, this 17% turnout. It's a little higher than the last time for the primary. So if we assume maybe that the general will be a little higher than last time, we'll try and staff.
Primary in 2022, we had 5,084 votes.
Yeah.
So this primary.
I was thinking we were at like,
468.
what was it, like 12% or something last
I
time?
don't
I thought
have
it was
those figures.
13,
13,
but I'm not.
yeah, it was a little lower.
Which
How many workers did we have at Living Word? I don't have.
we had 2 judges, 2 clerks, and 2 assistants.
I haven't talked to
No,
Fritz, but
7.
did he say he did not need those extra machines that were taken down?
He did.
He said
When
he
they got
didn't need them.
taken down there.
He was good with what he had from Fritz.
Right, we had 10 machines to start, and then they brought 2 additional machines. You guys got there about what, maybe 2 in the afternoon? something like that. When I closed out at the end of the night, they had 25 and 27 votes on them.
They didn't, I know it was random, there weren't very many on them, so.
It helped a little bit.
I was gonna say, but there were people standing in line.
Oh, yeah. We had a line the whole day long.
Yeah.
We had a line at 6 P.M.
I'd say if you had the machines all day long, they probably would have been used more.
They
But
would have
also,
been
if
used more.
you had a couple more workers, you could have got them onto those machines quicker.
Right.
Well-
It felt, we were machine constrained in the morning. We had every machine occupied continuously. It felt we were worker constrained in the afternoon, I think, because the workers got so exhausted.
Gotcha.
So we were having a hard time keeping machines filled, just getting people checked.
It's a long day.
It is a long day.
Workers.
Well, and it was taking people a long time to vote too, because there were so many
That's the
contested races.
You know, again, some people vote quickly, some people,
Yeah.
The general will be a much quicker ballot.
yes, it will.
Okay. Thanks for the comments.
Thank you. Did you have anything else, Greg?
No.
Okay.
Thanks, Rick. I make a motion with adjourn. You already
Second.
made that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.
Greg, I
Thank-
appreciate you, keeping numbers. Your wife was letting me know when